This is the story of a young man named Arjun. He was not poor, not rich, not extraordinary, not a failure, just ordinary. He had a job, a family, a roof over his head. From the outside, his life looked fine, but inside, Arjun was suffering. Every day he woke with the same heaviness. Every night he went to sleep with the same questions echoing in his mind. Why am I always restless? Why does happiness never last? Why does pain return again and again? One evening, after another day of silent frustration, Arjun walked to the edge of the town where an old monk was known to sit beneath a banyan tree. The monk had a reputation. People said if you sat with him long enough, you'd leave lighter. Some called him wise, some called him mad, but everyone who met him never forgot the encounter. Arjun sat down, shoulders tense, mind racing. The monk smiled and asked, "Why have you come?" Arjun said, "I am tired of suffering. I am tired of carrying this invisible weight. Tell me how to end it." The monk closed his eyes for a while, as though listening to something Arjun could not hear. Then he said, "Life gives every man two roads. One is the road of resistance. The other is the road of acceptance. Most of us spend our entire lives walking the first road without even realizing it." Arjun frowned. "What do you mean by resistance?" The monk's voice was calm but sharp. Resistance is the voice inside that says, "This should not be happening. I deserve better. Why me?" It's when you fight reality as if reality will bow down to your anger. But life does not care for your fight. It only flows. And when you fight the flow, you suffer. The suffering is not in life itself, but in your refusal to accept it as it is. Arjun thought about his job he hated, the people who had betrayed him, the failures that haunted him. His entire life, he realized, was a war against things that had already happened. The monk continued, "The second road is acceptance. Acceptance is not weakness, it is strength. It says, this is what is. I may not like it, but I will not waste my energy cursing it. Instead, I will use that energy to shape what comes next." The moment you accept, your suffering begins to dissolve. Pain may remain, but suffering vanishes, because pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Arjun felt a flicker of something new inside him. "But how do I learn to walk this second road?" The monk leaned forward. "By practicing 3 shifts. First, shift your mind from why me to what now. Second, shift your heart from blame to responsibility. Third, shift your actions from reaction to creation. If you practice these, life will still test you, but you will stop torturing yourself with resistance." The monk paused, letting the words settle. Then he told a story. Once there were 2 farmers. Both lost their crops to a flood. The first farmer sat on the ground wailing, "Why me? Why always me? Life is unfair." Weeks passed, and he was still drowning in sorrow, waiting for life to give him justice. The second farmer mourned for a day, then said, "This happened. I cannot change it, but I can plant again." He picked up his tools and began to work. One farmer lived in misery, the other found peace. The flood had come to both. The difference was not in the event, but in the choice after. Arjun nodded slowly. For the first time, the weight on his chest seemed light. The monk said, "Your suffering ends not when the world changes, but when you change your response to the world. Remember, life is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Every challenge is a lesson in disguise, but only if you stop shouting at the storm long enough to hear what it's teaching." The sun was setting now, and the monk fell silent. Arjun sat in stillness. His mind, once full of complaints, was strangely quiet. He realized something profound. His suffering was never created by life. It was created by his refusal to accept life. He stood, bowed to the monk, and began walking home. But this time, each step felt different. Not lighter because life had changed, but lighter because he had changed. He carried with him not answers, but a new way of living. We all live like Arjun. We resist reality. We fight the unchangeable. We replay wounds in our heads, hoping they'll hurt less the 100th time. We postpone peace until life bends to our will, and so we suffer. But life has only two roads: the road of resistance and the road of acceptance. The first guarantees endless suffering. The second opens the door to freedom. When betrayal comes, when failure comes, when loss comes, and they always do, you have a choice: curse life or embrace it and grow. You cannot stop the storms, but you can stop holding the storm inside you. Remember, pain is life knocking. Suffering is you refusing to open the door. The moment you let go of resistance, you step into a new life. Not a life without pain, but a life without unnecessary suffering. And that is the beginning of true freedom.